Hey YouTube, it's Moo Cow. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you two clips that I took at the college that I'm teaching at. That college I teach, it's a business college. It's actually a boarding school. It's like a private university, but the students live there since most of them come from really far away. And when I mean far away, I mean like saying you study in Florida and you come from Alaska. I mean like really far away, some of them. Some of them are from this city though, but most of them are pretty far away. And they're a great bunch of kids. I call them kids even though they're 19 to 23, 24 years of age. And you've read my description, you know I'm 28, so it's not that much of a difference, just a few years. But you can see the difference between the United States, the way that the university or college students behave and the way they behave here. This is very characteristic in Asia, not just China. And you'll notice that a lot of the girls, which the majority of the class is girls, this was taken, by the way, during the breaks, not during the class. So don't think that my class is like this. This is during the breaks only. But you can see that they look a lot younger than they actually are. You know, some of them are 23, like I said, and they look like they're 14 or 15. Which, if any of them are watching, sorry, you don't look that old, young. Crap. Anyway, okay, so to start off, I've got my green tea, my cow cup. So good. And I'm going to try something. Now, I do, for those of you who are interested, I do fasting every once in a while. I try to fast at least once a week. Right now, I'm going to go for a 1 month fast. That's 30 days without eating. Why? Because I want to deepen my meditations and it just feels right. I feel like I really want to detoxify my body this time. If I can't do it, I'll at least go 2 weeks. But I'm going to try to do the 30 days, which is going to be very hard because I'm going to be starting in a new school. And I'm going to be teaching children as well. I'm going to be teaching, get this, from kindergarten all the way straight up. So I'm going to have children about this big, quite literally, you're in Asia. I'm 6'3", so they're going to be like up to the middle of my chin bone, I don't know. And I'm going to also be teaching older students, maybe 16 years old. And of course, I'll still be at the college teaching in the mornings up to 23, 24-year-old. Now, I won't be teaching, I hope I'm not teaching adults because that's really boring to teach adults. They never do their homework, they expect miracles, and then they get mad at you for not learning when they don't go home and practice. But anyway, so I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be explaining the process, what it feels like, and maybe I'll make some other videos about that and the reasons why I've decided to do that. But I'm very happy with it, and just wanted to share that with all of you. One thing that I wanted to mention, and I said I was going to make this in another video, but I'm just going to include this right now. If you watch the video on logical deduction, a lot of people asked me about what happens with the consciousness of the cat inside the experiment. To give you a brief overview so you don't have to watch that video, basically the hypothetical model is you take a cat, you put it in a box, you put something random in there to kill the cat, you open the box, is the cat alive or dead? Now, the experiment does not work very well in those parameters because the cat has consciousness and therefore the consciousness can focus itself. However, it can work there's two ways. If the cat is dead, the consciousness is no longer there, so it's no longer affecting the experiment. So yes, it can still work. It's the same thing as if you take a human. Please don't do this, nor am I advocating that you take a human and randomly kill them in a box or anywhere. But if you take a human, the consciousness is no longer there if the human is dead. So therefore, the experiment still works. But it can be altered if the human is still alive. In other words, the quantum indeterminacy cannot take hold if the human is alive. Only when the human is dead. It's very convoluted, very weird to explain. But to simplify it, instead of taking a human, as I stated before in the comments, just take a dice, and like a D20 dice for those of you who like to play Dungeons and Dragons, like I do, and a jet of air, and you put the dice on there, and it's spinning. Now, when you cut the jet of air, will it land below 10 or above 11? No, 10 or below, or 11 or higher, to give you a 50-50 odd. Now, you don't know if the jet stream is still there and you don't know if it's going to land. So it can give you more complexity, and yet it can still be a quantum indeterminate action. It's not, you don't necessarily have to rely on consciousness unless you take it to the extreme that the dice is matter and matter is energy and energy is alive in all forms. Please don't do that for this experiment, because if not, it will get very, very complicated. The basic principle of Schrödinger's cat, or quantum indeterminacy, just states that everything is until it is observed, including us. In other words, the observed can be, or the observer becomes the observed, which I will talk about in a following video. So thank you, and please enjoy the videos. I'm going to be posting more videos now that I'm going to be working at the school. I haven't taught kindergarten ever. I've taught first grade all the way up to 12th grade. I've never taught kindergarten, so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's really cute because they do things like, they don't understand you. So obviously, and they don't really understand Chinese either, because they're so small, that if you take your hand and you go like this, all the little children go like this too. If you take your hand and you go like this, all the little children move their hands too. So if you want to understand human behavior, and you want to understand the what is known as the 100th monkeyth syndrome, or what is this called? Living fields. It's called living fields theory. The living fields theory says that, and this is based on an observations they made on a chain of islands where they had monkeys, and one monkey on one island started taking what was it? They started cooking their fish, or not cooking their fish, was it? They started doing something. I can't remember if it's cooking their fish, or I don't think they cook fish, but they started doing something to their fish, and one monkey started doing it, and the researcher observed it. And after several months, all the monkeys on that island were doing it. Now the islands were too spread apart for the monkeys to be migrating. Eventually they noticed that after several years, all the monkeys on all the islands were doing the same thing. And they theorized that there are living fields that affect consciousness back and forth. So everything is actually connected. And this is also the theory of why would what happens on Earth and the wars we have affect other worlds or other realities, if you choose to believe in those things, which I do. And that helps to explain why we need to correct our paths, not just for humanity's sake, but if not for the entire universe's sake. Every little grain of salt, or every little grain helps. So maybe I'll give a better example. I'm going to research that and give you the exact theory of how it works. I'm not familiar with all the details of that theory, but it's very, very interesting. Now, thank you again, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me those questions, and enjoy the video. Bye-bye. Right, okay, I'm not doing this because that's what Maggie Bond does. Oh, horrible, horrible. I know, it's sad. It's sad. She has like 24,000 subscribers, and it's sad. I'm one of them. I don't want to, I just did admit it. I'm so sorry. It's just, you know, there is no excuse, and I feel sorry for myself. Goodbye. Oh, God. Oh, come on, do it again, do it again, do it again. He's sneaking around. Okay, go.